This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. So today we're going to take a look here at some energy plays. First of all, take a look here actually at crude oil, and then the big oil ETF, XLE, UGA, which is gasoline ETF, and then CRK, which is Comstock Resources. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have crude oil. Now this is a daily chart situation. Okay, so you can see here if we just look to the past, what we had that nice double bottom and it ran up very, very nicely. Now, when you look at this pattern, see a left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, says it's going to go right to that 200-day and boom. That's where that inverse head and shoulders pattern played out to. Now, this here was that war premium between Israel and Iran situation. Now it looks like they're getting this thing all settled, and you can see where she's coming off. So the next thing we're looking for is any kind of a patterns. Okay, so we had this nice high, okay, of 66.03. We retested that high with 642. So you can see where it couldn't hold this. It was a nice double top. If you were to close above it and above that 200-day, well, then she could have kept that running, but that's not what happened. Okay, now when we can see where it ran right on up here, we ran right into that 21-day, right into the 21-day, and then just falling right off the pretty much off the planet. So when we look at this 8-day, you can see how it's rolling over 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day. Everything is a waterfall situation all the way on down. Now you can see how this is stair stepping. See, when you look at these price channels, it's see how that's stair stepping on situation. Now it looks like it wants to take another downturn here. Okay, so again, what you're really watching is we're watching yesterday's low. That's going to be very, very key. That's at 57.68 level. Okay, so what we were looking for is just the left of the chart, looking at the 57.74. So he came in within 6 cents of that. Now, you can see how much strong that support was. See right there, we hit it there, we hit it there, and we held it all the way to there. See how nice that was. So again, if that is lost, then it's going to come down pretty hard, because then you can hit that 57.03, and then we're going to come down to that 56.39. We have 56.33, and then we have this 55.30, I should say, and then we have this right here. We got this 55.12. That's the big retest. But what I really wanted to show you is when you look at this chart overall, if this area here is lost, okay, that right there, that double bottom situation is lost. Look where you have a target here, all the way down to that 33.64. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go, but when you look at this chart here, this is over a 5-year period, you can see how this is descending. See how we ran all the way up to that $1.30, we retested it, and then beautiful short all the way down. But look at it, we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, all the way on down the situation here. So again, that's what you'll be watching here, is that 55.12 level. Okay, so again, if we lose that situation right there, we got, yeah, there is support all the way on down here. But again, you have a big retest kind of a situation. Now, if that 55.12 is lost, your next level obviously is going to be a 53 level, 50, 47, 43, and you can work yourself all the way on down. But again, you know, that's just what it is. But now, they're adding a lot of oil on the market. They have been adding. They're now putting on 136,000 barrels a day. Are going to add that in November. So, you know, and plus this time of the year, but what we're always looking for is opportunity. Okay, so that's the thing. Opportunity here to take a long or short. So what I am right now, I'm short with the ETF SCO. Okay, and then what I do is I'm just scalping the long, and I'm using it more like a hedge. But you can see here how this is acting almost like a big bear flag situation. Come right on down, and then we're just making this series of lower lows. But I really think that this 55 level is going to be tested. So when you look at the RSI, see, this is not nowhere near oversold. This MACD momentum to the downside, which could go even lower, kind of a situation. So again, just be very, very careful if you're trading on the long side. But again, if you can get back above this 8-day, that 60-30, then we can maybe hit that 62 level, maybe hit the 50-day, and we hit the 100-day, and then we hit that 200-day. But just remember, this is why I like trading oil, because it seems like it's always in play. Now, the EIA report was usually scheduled for 10:30, but that's government. Okay, so the government shut down, so there's no report now. But last night on the API, you had a big build. You had 3.78 million barrels for a build kind of a situation. So we got to see once it starts back up again exactly what the numbers are. I like seeing the numbers every week just to kind of track the whole situation. But right now you can see how we're downtrending situation. So again, it could be a nice good scalp up here to that 8-day, and then we always want to see what the reaction is. Does it take it to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, or does it stop it right there and then coming right on back down again here? So, okay, let's take a look here at the big oil ETF XLE. Here we have the XLE, and this is an easy way to trade big oil. Plus, this pays, I think it's about over 3% dividend kind of a situation. So that's always good. But this has got Exxon, Mobil, Shell, Marathon, Schlumberger, anything that's oil stock is in this. So it's like a one-stop shop. That's how I like the TQQs for the NASDAQ, one-stop shopping. You know what I'm saying? Everything is like right there for you. Okay, now you can see here how we had this sideways action with build momentum, and then we rallied all the way up here to this 92 on 91 level. Okay, so basically what we do is we just always look to there. So we had as a 93.02, we couldn't get above of that. Then your next level would have been right up here at the 94.29, and then we could go retest up there at 94.82. Then we could come all the way up there to that 97.85. But that's not what we had. It got up to the point, it put a topping tail in, and now she's just selling right on down. So when we look at this chart, okay, now you can see where the price is below all the simple moving averages. The 8-day crossed over 21-day, crossed over the 50-day. So then this is going to be very, very strong resistance. Went right into that 8-day again today. Couldn't get above it, and now she's selling back off again, okay? So today we made this high of 87.41. So all you have to do look right there is 87.55. That was the double top situation. Plus we have that 87.49 right there is that 8-day. So that was very, very strong resistance. So on the upside here, you have to really get it back above that 86.88. Let's call it 87 level with that 200-day. And then we have to get back above that 87.49, the 8-day. Then we have the 50-day. And then we have the 21 a day. Now, what I usually do is I trade this as I buy this like January time, and then I just ride this right on up here because oil's going nowhere. And you can see here, like with these EVs, you know, like GM, okay, they cancel. I don't get it. They cancel the Cadillac Escalade, the Chevy Camaro, which is hot selling. Okay, so they can build the Chevy Volt that gives 30 miles. And then 2 minutes later, they say, well, we're going to take a $1.6 billion, charge because we're not selling EVs. Well, what are you building more EVs for if nobody wants them? I don't understand the thinking. They should just take that bar and just fire her. The guy from Ford, fire him. You know what I'm saying? And put people in there that know exactly what the hell they're doing because this makes no sense kind of a situation. They're not building out these EVs. You know what I'm saying? They're not selling. Now, the numbers should be decent this quarter, but everybody's front loading. But without that $7,500 subsidy, which is gone, I don't really see how you're going to be selling these EVs. Now, Tesla, I think is a different story because that's a tech company also. But, you know, the rest of these, I don't see it. So anyway, what we're looking for on the downside is we're looking for a test of that 85.19 level and then 85.04. That was the low right there. Okay, so if we lose that, then we can come right down to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at that 84.10 level, which is very, very strong. And then we can come and march it all the way down to bring these price channels right across 81.66. You bring that across there. We have 80.88. And then we can just march it all down 80.70. And then we can come all the way down to the bottom at 79.94. And then we have 79.51. We come over there at 78.49. And then we have 75.82, and then we can march it all the way down to your 74.49 level if it keeps right on selling. But right now, your price is below all your simple moving averages, and everything has to go, you know, above there. Now, again, if you don't trade this, or you say you're trading Exxon or Mobil, all these charts look very, very similar. This is just a basket of all of them situation, okay? But right now, if we can hold this level right there, okay, that 84 level, we still be good with this sideways action. But once we start losing that, then we got to come down here for all the big retests kind of a situation. Now, if you expand this chart right on out, okay, you can see here how you're uptrending. But we start losing all this, yeah, there is support all the way on down kind of a situation, but you just don't want to hit that 26.98 level. I don't think you're going to be going there anytime soon. But again, this is really a good, if you want a nice basket of all the stocks. Okay, let's take a look at the gasoline ETF, UGA. Okay, this is the gasoline ETF UGA. Now, I just want to warn you right in advance that this does not do much volume. So you can't go in there and jumping in with big time shares. So I layer it in, okay? But I usually start buying this at the end of January kind of a situation and ride it up into that summer driving kind of, But again, you can see here how we put this high in right there at that 80.17. We put on a higher high at 80.29, and that was your double top. You couldn't hold it. See how that topping tail is? Couldn't hold it. And then now down she came, holding the 50 night, then nice, and then rallied up here, almost like a bear flag situation, and come right on down. And now we're doing almost that bear flag situation. So now that price of that 8-day crossed over the 21-day, over the 50-day, and now you're heading right on down. So what we're really watching on the downside is right here, this 62.80 level. If we lose that, and then 62 or 60.57, that's going to be very, very critical. Then what we do is we can come down here to the bottom of that candle. Okay, so you're looking at the 60.20 level, and then we can just bring the price channel right across. You're looking there at that 55.70, and then we can come down to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 53.07, and then we have that right here, this 200 SMA here sitting. But again, the thing about what you have to look at is when you see these big charts, okay, going on here, and you can see this where you have this double top, and she wants to just come right on down. Don't fight this and says, hey, this is going to go higher, especially if you're trading like the gasoline. This is just not worth it. So when you see this 8-day, see how it flies flying, and now you can't get through it, and that's going to be very, very difficult there to do. Okay, so that's what we're looking for on a very, very closing basis. Is we have to make sure that we hold this key price channel at that 60.57. If not, we could take this bad boy much lower. Now, when you look at the RSI, that's not overbought or oversold. The green is still below your red, but gasoline at this time of the year just isn't working kind of a situation. Okay, so that's what we have to look at. It's just not going to be working. But again, if you want to look at this, like I say in January, then this is a good time to trade. That's a good time to trade, the gasoline. So I'll give you an example right here. This was like 1.3. Okay, so look at this. Okay, so there's right there. Look how nice this was rallying all the way on up here, all the way to this time frame. Okay, so if you look at, say, at the 131 level kind of a situation, you can come all the way down here. You had 43, and it rallied up to that 80 mark. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, is when you buy that, okay, in that February timeframe, and then you can have a nice, good run-up situation. Right now, it's out of favor. So again, but I always look for opportunity, so that's what we're looking for here on the old gasoline ETF. All right, let's take a look here now at CRK. All right, here we have CRK. This is Comstock Resources. Now, the one reason I like this is Jerry Jones, the owner of Dallas Cowboys, owns 88% of this. Okay, and this is basically an oil, but mainly a natural gas also play. Okay, so you can see here how the really, really nice run up that this stock has had all the way to that 31 area. Okay, so this is another one that I usually buy like in a February time frame, and just run right on up. But I also trade this, but I like this stock because I think it's with him owning it, I just think it's a really, really good kind of a play, and especially a good play on natural gas. As they start turning this into LNG, you ship it out of the country, this is going to be really, really, I think the stock is going to do very well. Now, what we're looking at here is we had this candle down, and we have almost like a bear flag situation, and with this 21-day is very, very strong. So we have to get above that 1952. If not, we go to that 8-day at 20 flat, and then we have that 200-day right above it at 2012, and then we have you right there as that 100 SMA at 2059. Then we can rally that thing back up to that 2209 mark. Now, if we can get above this 2209 mark, we have some really, really good targets going up here. Okay, see what you have there? You got that 24 mark. Okay, then we always want to go to the left of the chart here. You got 25. All right, look, you can take it all the way up here, 27 mark. Then we come up to that 29 mark, and then we can have that 31.17. Eventually, it's going to retest this, and I think it's going to break out, head to that 35.40 level. But you got to be a little bit patient with this, okay? So now on the downside, what we really watch is just watch the lowest candle here at that 18.37. If we lose that, then we're looking at that 50-day at 17.38 level, okay? Now, there is a lot of support going on here, even if we lose that. Okay, you got a 1566, and we can come all the way down here to this 1465 level. Okay, so again, this is a good play on energy If you're looking for a crude oil and you're looking for like a natural gas play, it's a smaller company, but I think this is a really good play, and probably eventually it might even be taken over where this company would be bought out, kind of a situation. Now, it got to an oversold condition, came right on down. But again, now we're sitting here. This is an overbought or oversold. The green, the momentum to the downside, because that's what we had. But if we could get above the simple moving average and crack that 22 on 90, we got a nice good retest there of that 31. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after the pit close. Take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, ETF, ETHU, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and we'll take a look at the indexes, which are nice in green right now. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.